6:52.
Okay.
6:52. Okay. There's not much we can discuss. Okay. I think, Lyle, are you there? Lyle?
I'm here.
Hi, Lyle. How are you? You there? You're muted.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can, yes.
Oh, okay.
Oops. 1 second.
Two of them.
Any interesting news, Lyle?
I actually just have one thing to report. I just need to pull it up real quick. 1 second. Okay. Just one quick announcement. DOT is hosting a town hall on accessible pedestrian signals, or APS for short. Those are the devices that you normally see, like little black buttons that are affixed to the pedestrian signal poles. Those buttons are pretty much on those poles to assist the blind or low vision pedestrians in crossing the street.
Let me ask you something. Are those the little green things there? I know they have them down here on Broadway.
Yeah,
You're
those are the
attached-
things that we usually, when you're by by a pedestrian signal or a traffic light, yeah.
Okay. Sorry. And these are, what are they called?
Accessible pedestrian signals, or APS for short. Those are like those little black buttons you see that you push in order to, just to hear, the voice speak. Those are for blind or low vision pedestrians to assist them in crossing the street.
Okay. I know you're gonna tell me what they call it then, right?
Oh, yeah, accessible pedestrian signals.
Okay. All right. That's it.
Yeah, so usually they send audible and vibrations, more or less, indications when
Yeah.
pedestrians push a button when it's inside the crosswalk. So I know we have quite a few installed, throughout CB9 and throughout the city. So DOT is hosting a town hall on those. This is the second of two town halls.
So you're having a town hall meeting?
Yes, it's virtual though. So I can send the link, and I have a flyer also that I can send you via email. So you can post it to anyone who wants to attend. Basically, it's a town hall, more or less, to collect feedback from the public and to provide an opportunity for questions and answers from the public, or any suggestions as to where you'd like to see them. You can submit questions ahead of time. There's an email address that's on the flyer as well. It's aps@dot.nyc.gov. I'll put it in the chat. The town hall is on Wednesday, October 18th.
October what?
I'm sorry?
October what? October what?
18th.
Yeah, so 2 Wednesdays from now. It's in the afternoon from 1 to 3 p.m.
Oh.
Allow, send that to me, please, in my email.
So yeah, I'll send it to you and to Yutha. So that way you have the flyers, and you can post it on, and just send it over to to anyone you see fit. And I'll put the email address in the chat, where you can submit questions ahead of time if you have any questions in general, about about EPS, or again, suggestions as to where you think they should be placed. Anything else? Like I said, we're trying to solicit feedback ahead of time, and there are, just more information on the flyer, just as far as phone number that you can reach someone, just in case anyone with any disabilities or need for translation can call ahead of time in order to access those services as well. So, like I said, I'll send you the flyer, and you can share it with your contacts on your end. That's pretty much it. It's been pretty quiet.
Well, Ted has a question.
Sure.
You folks promised to send me at the beginning of the summer a plan for 120th Street. And that was to be fully understood as a prototype, but not a situation that was written in stone. But I never got anything on it. And I am sorry to say I didn't follow up sooner, but this is a good time to do it.
Sure. I can reach out to my colleagues in our pedestrian projects group and see if I can get something over to send to you.
Okay.
Actually, oh, sorry. Go ahead, Ted. Sorry.
I just wanted to give you, for the record, my email, which is tkovalev@gmail.com.
No problem.
And I look forward to seeing you face to face.
Likewise, it's been too long.
Yes, it certainly has.
Lyle,
Yes, ma'am.
ask you some questions about the garbage containers.
I can try to answer some questions. I know that that's, I think, a DSMI pilot program, but I can try to see what I can answer for you.
I know it's a prototype, okay? You don't know how long it's gonna last. It does come under the heavy of, DOT, but, I think my question is, Paul, did you have anything specific that you wanted to ask him?
I think what Carolyn said is, we understand it's a pilot program. My understanding is that, the locations where the containers are currently, installed at, is there a plan to, potentially expand or give the public a forum of where they can provide feedback based on the containers that have been placed in their areas? I know some containers have been placed in residential areas, others, around schools. Do you happen to know any of that, Lyle?
Yeah, I think just as far as general information, I pretty much have the same that you do. I think that they've been placed by schools, or at least locations where there tends to be a high concentration of trash that accumulates. So it's a pilot program to see that if the bins are located on the on the street, per se, if that would essentially mitigate any rat problems or any additional issues that come with trash, or that much trash accumulating on the ground. I don't have that much more information. I can do, I can try to put you in contact with someone from sanitation who might be able to have more information. I can send a contact to Carolyn and to Yutha and put you guys together, and she should be able to answer those questions for you.
You have to know, sanitation doesn't attend this meeting. They used to attend, okay? But due to the cutbacks and what have you now, they only attend Yutha's meeting, okay, which is the district meeting. Okay?
Cabinet meeting, yeah.
So the whole cabinet meeting. So what happens is, send that to Yutha will send it to me and Solomon, and that's how we can report it back to the committee, because they don't, as I said, they don't attend this meeting.
Yeah, or if anything, what you can do, if there are questions that you have, you can send them to me and I can forward them to sanitation. That works too.
Oh, okay, well, fine, what Solomon is asking, I also know that they're in, like you said, some residential areas. Now, I went to 149 between Broadway Amsterdam, 150 Broadway Amsterdam, 152nd Broadway Amsterdam, 153rd. Now, 149 has 13 containers in that block. 150th has 10. 151 has 13 containers, because they two at a time, right? They connected two at a time. Some have three. Right. So now I counted them. No, 52, 53 is where the school is at, okay? They only have two in there. So my question is, do they go by blocks that have more rat infestation, or they go because of the garbage? That's the question I want to know.
I think it's if I'm not mistaken, I think it's based more on locations that would usually be locations for a high accumulation of trash. So schools, colleges, that sort of thing. Um, so my guess is on those blocks, would be, a school. Usually, you know how much trash tends to accumulate in front of the school on a daily basis, and what those problems end up leading to. So I think it's more based on trash accumulation than rat mitigation. But essentially, the two go hand in hand. The more trash that's off the street, hopefully that's the less rats that you have on the sidewalk. So you figure if you take care of one problem, the other one, should hopefully be handled a little bit more so as well. So I think it's a little bit of both, but I think more for trash accumulation than rats. But the two go hand in hand, I'd say.
Yeah, no, I understand, but I know 151 has a big rat problem, a definite big rat problem in garbage, because the people that in that block don't know about putting garbage cans. The garbage cans are there, but they sit the garbage on top of the cans,
Yeah.
and that's a big problem in that block, but I know they have a big rat problem in that block.
Do you have suggestions, if there's suggestions, for other locations where you think they might be beneficial? Like I said, you can send those locations over to me. I can definitely pass some along to sanitation on the board's behalf.
Off the top of my head, no. Just if something comes to me, I'll let you know. I'm just trying to give you the locations that I know that are problematic, But
Okay.
like I said, I know 151 is, 149 a little bit, because they have a garden there. I don't know about the garbage so much, but I can't say it's so much problem. It's a problem, but it's not a rat problem. It's a different type of problem, but it's a problem. But so it's off the top of my, I have to do a little bit more research, okay?
Sure, no problem. If anything, we can talk more about it offline. And like I said, if there are any additional questions, like I said, just pass them on to me, and I can definitely pass this along to my colleagues in sanitation.
And like I said, that song.
Carolyn,
Yeah,
Heather and I have a question for Lyle.
okay, go ahead.
Sure.
Thank you. Lyle, last month when you came, Heather and I both had expressed concern about the corner of 146 and Convet with the puddling of water when there's a great deal of rain, which I'm sure that was the case last Friday. We sent those pictures to you and just wanted to know were there any updates about
and West 147th Street and St. Nicholas Avenue.
Yes, that as well. Yes, thank you, Heather.
Okay, no updates as of yet. I can reach out to my colleagues at DEP to see if they might have additional information. As of today, nothing, but we'll be in touch. I'll see what I can find out for you before next month.
All right.
Again, it's a street grading issue, not DEP. I also sent in a complaint and pictures to DEP through 311, and they responded back saying that this was a DOT issue.
They always pass it off.
Passing the buck.
They always pass it off because they know it's a problem with them. They know it is. Because
No, there's no flooding or anything coming from the catch basins. It's the way the street is grading that's bypassing the catch basin and flooding the sidewalk where wheelchairs have to pass over the corners.
So the sidewalk is uneven.
It's not the sidewalk, it's the street that's causing the ponding in the curb.
Alicia.
I might actually go up there and take a look at my.
Well, oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll go up there and take a look. To see what's going on up there, and I'll also reach out to DEP as well just to see how additional information I can find. There's something maybe that we don't see that they can. But I'll follow up with them and I'll go up there and check out the locations.
It's going to rain, so you'll definitely see it this weekend again.
Yeah. And last week's rain didn't really matter as much either, I'm sure. So, but I'll follow up, and like I said, I'll reach out to DEP also. But we'll be in touch. Absolutely.
Okay.
Alicia, you had a question?
Yes, good evening, everybody. I have two questions and one might sound naive, but on 135th and Broadway, going on the downtown side,
Hmm?
south side, the street is like caving in to the point where it's at the intersection where cars make the right or make the left or going straight through. And it's an issue because now seniors and school kids and stuff, they can't walk on that area. I mean, they walk on it, but it's dangerous with walkers, wheelchairs, shopping carts, or anything. They have to literally walk in the street of the intersection of 135th. This is on Broadway. So I don't know if that's something that you address. And then the traffic from the school in the morning, I know the officers will probably be able to do that, where the cars double and triple park and people can't even get on the bus that are handicapped or seniors or anything. And that's an issue. And that's the number 4 bus going south.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, we
I
can.
know where that is.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm so sorry. I know where it is, but in the morning, depends on the time of the morning, that the traffic is backed up. Because if it's anywhere between 8 and 9 o'clock, the traffic is not backed up. I take that bus going to the doctor, there's no backed up traffic at that time of the morning. I mean, I know there was a traffic problem. I'll ask Officer Stumer about it again. But yeah, I'll ask Stumer again.
He's on.
Broadway.
No, Stumer's on.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, and we can. I don't. Can you, if you do you have any photos you can send to me by any chance of the area in question? I can definitely pass this along to my colleagues, and you can send somebody up there to take a look.
Okay, I'll get some photos for you.
Okay, and I'll put my email in the chat if you don't already have it.
Okay.
No
Heather,
problem.
you had another question?
No, I didn't.
Heather, yes, I do. I have a separate question for Lyle.
Sure.
Um, I sent in another complaint regarding sidewalk grates that I guess they're for the MTA to DOT though. And DOT transferred or referred the issue to the MTA. It's been well over a week and I haven't heard from the MTA. So my question is basically when DOT refers an issue to MTA, how is the complaint handled? I also followed it because the MTA, there's not a 311 process to complain directly to the MTA about issues. So I'm wondering when the DOT says that they're referring an issue to the MTA, what happens next?
Do you have? Is there a case number by any chance that you received from DOT? I can try to look it up and see what it says in on our end.
Yeah, I do have a case number and I also sent pictures and this is a personal issue, but and that's why I was just asking a general question, but I can send it to you in your email.
Yeah, sure. If you can send it to me, I can do some more research on the. I just provide the case number. It should be one that starts with the letters DOT, and just send whatever information you have, and closely and see what I can find out for you.
Okay, because then I also went on MTA's website and I did, put a complaint on their website too, but no response. And then I also called customer service with the MTA, no response.
Okay.
But it involves, a very close next to a sidewalk issue.
Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. So whatever information you have to me, especially that case number, and I'll see.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much.
No problem. No
Thank you, Lyle.
Lyle,
Yes, ma'am.
MTA is requesting a change in traffic at 133 Broadway to one-way. Right now, it is down and up. And due to the traffic flow in the evening, which is always backed up, they're requesting that 133 be changed to one-way.
Is that 133rd between 12th and Broadway?
Yes.
It's right next to the office where we are now.
We had already taken a look at that location. We did this, I think, 2 years ago, if not mistaken. We had a request, an exact request for that block, and we had a walkthrough. We had conversations with the school, the MTA bus depot, and the 30th precinct, and after some research and just looking at the area, my colleagues determined that a one-way wouldn't be feasible
Okay.
for that block, because for the 22 hours where it wouldn't be as backed up as it is for pickup and drop off, turning that street into a one-way, that block would essentially create more of an issue for speeding. Number one. Number two, with the school being in session only ideally for 9 months out of the year, like I said, the main issue is just for 2 hours out of the day. There would be more problems that would be caused with the one-way conversion, and trust me, we took a look at it several times and went out there quite a bit. But yeah, we didn't see any benefits to turning that into one way compared
Okay.
to current situation in this. We didn't think that it would be the most beneficial, and especially from a safety standpoint. Like I said, it would encourage speeding, and essentially it would also reconfigure traffic during rush hour, where it might cause some bigger problems for surrounding blocks. So, I mean, every school in the city has the same issues, and they always pop up at the beginning of the school year. When the kids are back in class. We try our best. We have a school safety division, that tries, to at least accommodate as far as delivering curbside access. The main problem on that block really is that the curbside access, the no standing that's on that block is supposed to be where the buses are supposed to be dropping off and picking up the kids. What ends up happening is that block is usually used either for the teachers as parking for them, or parents tend to use that curb space in order to essentially double, triple park, and then there's no space for the buses. So then everything ends up backing up onto Broadway, and then things like the M4 get backed up, other traffic, that sort of thing. So yeah, so the curb is essentially dedicated on 133rd on that block for the school buses,
Right.
the teachers. But we told the school, a lot of it is on the teachers, basically, to park somewhere else that's supposed to be no standings for school buses, not for teacher parking. They have authorized parking. I think it's just north of where the buses are supposed to be, but the red signs on that block are dedicated for the schools first and foremost, but they never can get access to that curb side space.
Okay, well, you answered my question, but the thing is, which is fine with me. The problem is that whoever's now in charge that's asking either is not aware that they've already looked at the location and it was turned down, or he's down new and putting it in for it to be turned down again.
Yeah,
Which I have no problem with either way, but I'm saying, as you say, every new person that comes in wants to try their own thing. So
yeah,
you're saying no, I have no problem with it, so they'll get a no.
Yeah, and like I said, it's not for lack of trying. We looked at that block, 135th, 12th Avenue, and Broadway, backwards and forward several times. And
Okay.
A lot of it's on the school, sad to say.
All right, I got it. Thanks a lot, appreciate it. So that will be my answer to them, that it's already been evaluated more than one time, and DOT does not think it's feasible. Okay, you answered my question. Thank you.
No problem.
Lyle, last month, Victor sent an email regarding the car shared spaces on 148th and Riverside.
Yeah, I got it, and I sent it to Victor.
Okay.
Yeah, I sent it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, I sent it to him.
Okay, and then Carolyn, you also brought up last month, there was a street light or lamp that was out on 150th and Riverside.
It's still up. Loud, and I've been talking about this light. It's across the downtown side, Riverside Drive 150. If you think about it, go back to a couple of years, the number 5 bus used to stop there before they made the changes.
Yeah.
So there's a street light there, and it's been out forever.
Yeah, I'll keep trying. I'll reach out again, and I'll see if I can get updates.
Because Ed sent me a notice saying things on Twitter, complaint, blah, 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 the light has been fixed, is on. It's not on.
Yeah, because last I checked, I heard it had been fixed a little while back.
Right.
But I know that,
So,
there's some concerns about it. So I'll check with my colleagues in street lighting again. I'll twist some arms for you, no problem.
all right, and I sent you an email. Like, West Side Highway goes down and up.
Yes, I did get that one. Yes, yes, yes.
Right, so when you're making the right-hand turn coming down the West Side Highway to go back up. So the trees are there, right? In the back. So where the trees are, is not on the highway, is where the lights are up all the
On the
way
other
up.
side, yeah, I think that's
Some
Parks
on and some
property.
off.
I think. I want to say that's Parks property. I think, yeah, I think on the other side. So you're talking about the other side of the highway, right?
Right.
Yeah, I think it's all Parks property between the highway and the water. If I'm mistaken. But I think I know what you're talking about.
All right, in other words, okay, let me say it this way, maybe this will help. There's two parking lots down there, okay?
Okay, I
One
know.
is used for a staging area from the work that DOT is doing. The other one, they're letting cars park in this. So that area is like where they picnic, okay? So there's a road there where the kids ride their bikes, and that strip there is where the lights are out.
That's the one just south of 158, right around that area.
Got it.
Gotcha. Okay, I know what you're talking about now. Got it. Okay.
Okay. It's just that they, it's some lights are on and a lot of them are off, so it's pitch black.
Okay, I'll do that. Okay, I know. I got you now. Now I know what you're talking about. Okay, I'll put a case in, and get our street lighting folks to look at that location too. No problem.
You said 155th and where, Carolyn?
It's
It's
just south.
158 off the West Side Highway.
Oh,
Yeah,
West Highway, okay.
Yeah, it's on the other side of the highway, on the park side, just south of 158. Like yeah, just where
Okay.
the two parking lots are. Yeah.
Alicia, you had your hand up?
I see you. I'm getting ready to catch a train to New York from DC. I'll see you later.
Okay, no problem. Bye-bye.
See you later. Be safe.
Thank you.
Officer Davis? Officer Davis? Okay.
I don't see him.
She's there.
Officer Cardenas, are you on with us?
Oh,
If you
Cardenas.
are, you're muted.
Okay.
Officer Stillman?
Hi, yeah, I was trying to unmute myself.
Oh, okay, no
Yeah,
problem.
okay.
Appreciate you being here.
Yeah, let me see,
Any,
yeah,
any updates for us from the 2-6?
okay, yes, so we have, and it's to be determined, our annual turkey giveaway drive, our turkey drive. So we have not gotten a date yet because we're working with our gracious donators, and so we're waiting on when we're able to get the donation so we can pick a date.
Okay.
So that's very exciting. I just also wanted to give everyone just a recap of the crime. I have it here. Wait a moment.
The crime stats?
Yes, the crime stat.
All right, could you also send them to me?
Yes. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
And
And I'll give them to you.
so the crime stat period that I'm going to be speaking about, which is the most it's not the most updated, but it's the most current one that we have. The other one's still being worked on. And it's from September 11th through September 17th. And I'm going to go year to date. So we'll start off with murder. In 2022, for the time period just mentioned, where did it go? Pardon me, just left my screen. Okay, so for 2022, we had one murder for this time. This year, the same time period, we have 0. For reported rapes, we had 12 for 2022 versus 7 of this year. For robbery, we had 76 last year in 2022 versus 103 this year for this time period.
Oh.
For felony assaults, we had a 2022 112 versus 129 this year. For burglaries, we had 90 last year versus 71 this year. For the grand larcenies, last year, we had 249 versus 285 this year. And our grand larceny autos, last year we had 52 versus 79 this year. And,
Could you repeat the burglaries for me again,
yes,
please?
90 versus 71.
yes, 90 last year versus 71 this year.
Thank you.
Yes.
Anything else?
No, that's all for now.
I got your response for the license I sent you.
Yes, yes,
You approved them all. Thank you
Yes.
so much.
yes.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Officer Cardenas, last month we talked about there was a assault on the 116th Street station, 116th on Lennox, the 2-3 subway station. At the time, it was still under investigation.
Mhm.
Did anything come out of that? I think we were still looking for details on that.
Yeah, we were, right.
Yes,
Yes, and the transit system, I believe, right?
yes.
Yes. It was still under investigation. I checked, that same day and it was still under investigation. I have not checked since to see where that case is, which I will do. But from when we previously did have our, meeting, when I did check, it was still under investigation.
Okay, thank you.
I think that's all we have for you, Officer Davis.
Okay, thank you.
Right, so make it short for you.
Mhm.
Officer, thanks a lot for coming.
Yes.
Officer Stuma.
Hello, everybody.
Hi,
Hope
Officer
everyone is
Stuma.
doing well tonight. P.O. Stumer from the 30th Precinct. Just gonna go over our numbers real quickly. As everybody knows, the New York City Police Department observes crime in the 28-day period. For murders in the 28-day, we're at 0 with a comparison of 0 from last year. We are at 0 rapes versus 1 from last year. Robberies are at 11 versus 12 from last year. Felony assaults are at 13 versus 15 from last year. Burglaries are at 7 versus 2 last year. Grand larcenies are 36 versus 27. And grand larceny of autos are 6 versus 10 last year, with a total of 73 index crimes versus 67 in the last year's 28-day period. Just to kind of talk about those numbers and explain them a little more, we're seeing the spike in burglaries among commercial vehicles, where people are parking their commercial vans. They're not really, adequately securing them, whether it be, a proper lock on them, and people are breaking in and stealing the tools from those vehicles. And then we're also seeing that there are increasing grand larcenies. And just I'm going to talk about it quickly, where it's a scam that's actually occurring in our precinct that what we're seeing is somebody is using Airbnb rentals to scam people out of fake apartment listings. So what's happening is they'll rent an Airbnb for a week period. And during that week period, they'll post it on apartments.com, Zillow, all the various, rental agency websites. They'll get people to come down, they'll view the apartment, and they're like, oh, wow, this is a great apartment for a very suspiciously low price. I better hop on this right now. And they give them personal information and a security deposit. And then, the perpetrator will say, okay, I want you to come back in 3 weeks. I want you to come back in 4 weeks, 5 weeks. So what we're seeing is over time, over the last couple of weeks, we've been getting people who fall under this category. They show up at an apartment thinking it's theirs, just to find out that, it was all a scam. So, we have some flyers that we've been handing out in the area just to kind of educate the community, proper ways to check it. Make sure always go through a broker, real estate agents, sometimes it might be a little costly, but at the end of the day, a real estate agent is going to show you the right way and also show you, what's good and what's not so good. Other than that, all normal in the 30th precinct. We have some of our events coming up soon that we will email blast and social media blast out to all the respective parties.
Officer Stumer, the victims that are falling, for the apartment rental scam, are they paying like in cash? Are they paying through some, digital currency? Like, is there some sort of common denominator that they're seeing?
It's all over. Some are paying through Zelle, some are doing straight cash. I think the perpetrator is just taking whatever they can get, but we are seeing that it's happening at like certain locations where, like certain apartments where we'll see more than one incident. Unfortunately, there are quite a few of Airbnbs in our area, so narrowing down is less than ideal.
Officer Stone, there are
Yes,
some buildings that do not allow Airbnb in them.
yes.
My building, I know, doesn't allow it. I think a couple of people tried it, they got caught, they were, they had to move out.
So that actually happened at 3333 Broadway, where we took a couple of complaints and management caught wind of it, partially from our alerting them. And, they shut it down right away, saying to their tenants, we do not allow, this type of rental, while it might seem like easy money, a lot of buildings aren't that. And, for this is a very reason, you're essentially bringing in people who you don't know into your building and into your apartments.
Mhm.
Okay. Also, I got your liquor license, which were approved but one.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I'm glad you caught that, that they will not be renewed, okay? So everything else was fine with the others.
Awesome.
Correct? Okay. All right, thank you so much. Oh, a question. We got a notice regarding from OCM, brother, regarding the cannabis. Okay, now we don't handle that. This committee doesn't do that because they don't come to us. It comes out of OMB. OCM, brother, I never get it back. It goes out of them, so, but we got the notice, so I have to hold on to the notice because we don't have anything to do with them. They don't even come to us, okay?
Okay.
It's not, I can't have it like a liquor license because it's not a liquor license, okay? So my question is to you, besides holding on to it, what else do I do with it?
I'll be honest, I have no idea. That might be a question for the cannabis committee.
I agree, but I wanted to ask you anyway. And also, is there an officer at the precinct that handles drugs? The cannabis
The dispensaries.
or dispensaries? The reason why I'm asking is because we
The
have a young
illegal
lady
ones.
that has a task force that handles it. I would like him or her to attend her meeting.
Well, lucky for everybody, you're talking to the officer right now.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm the kind of one that kind of has to, just keep an eye on our smoke shops, make sure that, any referrals need to be made. I'll be 100% honest, sheriffs is really the lead agency when it comes to enforcement, when it comes to licensing. But, the crime prevention officers have kind of been like the middleman just to kind of help them out, So if we have a location that, we are receiving complaints from, then you send that information to me and I can go through sheriffs.
All right, so Miss Cordero is on, so
Yes.
she's the one that can invite you to her meeting, because I promised her I
Yes.
would find out,
Yes.
which I am doing.
Thank you.
I need 5 stars, okay?
That's right, Carolyn.
And so Officer Stuma, which is my good friend, is the
Yes.
one we need to talk to, okay?
Yes, thank you.
I did my due diligence.
You sure did, Carolyn. So Officer Stumer, I will, I guess Carolyn, unless you want to put your contact information in the chat. Yeah, our meeting is later in the month, and Carolyn and I had a brief discussion because we know that the cannabis, they're releasing more licenses, so that means more shops are going to open legally. But I also suspect that more shops will also open illegally. It's an issue. So,
Yes.
so we would like to have you come to our meeting and discuss a little bit more with us. What things are being done in order to kind of tap down
Of
and keep
course.
things under control. So you'll be hearing from me. And
I put my email in the chat for you.
Yes, I'm going to write it down And we'll be in touch.
What I can say is over the last month, sheriffs have conducted 2 separate full-day operations in our precinct, which had resulted in, I don't have the number in front of me right now, but at least 20 summonses to various locations, and actually 2 arrests of somebody selling like straight up drugs from at one of the stores.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, unfortunately, if for people that don't know, sheriffs is vastly understaffed to handle this this very growing issue. So they've been kind of, you know, leaning on us a little, but at the end of the day, you know, it is their thing. So whenever we hear that they're going out there, we always try to make sure we help them out and make sure that, you know, we can hit the right stores and hit the right locations to make sure that, you know, people are not doing things and selling in our community illegally, or, you know, in locations where are a little more sensitive, like in front of schools, you know, and around corner from schools.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and not to take up all of the meeting, but, you know, we're working on creating some rules and regulations so that as legal, as people are applying for licenses and want to establish legal dispensaries, we want to, as a community board, try to have as much say as is feasible or possible, similar to what they do with the liquor licenses. So I'm glad you're here. Carolyn did, you know, follow through. I appreciate that. And we welcome you at our task force meeting. I'll send you
I'd be happy to join. And personally, I'm shocked that they're not at a point yet where it's not similar to how SLA operates, you know.
Right, exactly.
Right. Well, that's what we're trying to get under control so that it can be tight, so that we don't have stuff going out of control like downtown. We don't want that up here.
Well, it's true. I mean, Officer Stewart and I have discussed this many times, so, you know, he's aware of it, you know, like we are, but like I said, you'll come to him.
Officer Stummer,
Yes.
to date, we have gotten 2 requests for retail dispensaries from OCM. I don't know if you're aware of those. Would it be helpful if Carolyn were to send them to you in terms of the locations?
Yeah, that'd be awesome, please.
Yeah, because there's nothing I can do with it, Officer Stewart. I think it's a matter of, it's a notification to any municipality, but they have to let the board know, even though we don't handle it. But this one is for, the applicant is A&M St. Mark's LLC, but the location that they want is 3547 Broadway.
Okay.
1 second.
Yeah, that's near that's in between the McDonald's and the Foot Locker.
Right, yeah.
On Broadway. Oh,
Okay.
McDonald's.
So what I'll do is, I think I have it on the computer. I'll send it over to you.
Okay, perfect.
I'll send it to you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, and just to let you know, we've heard from Community Board 7, which is south of us. To date, they have gotten 19 requests.
Oh, wow.
For retail dispensaries.
But
Oh,
19,
wow.
but 19 haven't been approved, not legally.
They put them on hold.
They're on hold now.
And my guess, 18 of them are along 125th Street, probably.
Oh my gosh. Really?
Because only 5 applications have been approved and given.
Right, exactly.
So it's only been 5, so.
Now,
all right.
question, Carolyn, sorry, quick
Yeah.
question, because you're talking and Solomon is talking, and I didn't even know that was happening. So you guys are getting it? Why are you getting it? I'm just curious.
Well, it's a notification to any municipality. It's just a notification. That's why I'm gonna send it to Stuma. But if I get another one, I'll send it to him again, because there's nothing that we can do from this end.
Yeah, no, because like I said, it would, and when you get those, send me a note.
They have to notify the community board, regardless. So I can send it to you as well as to Stuma. I have no problem with that. But I'm just saying, all I can do is hold on to it.
Right. Like, no, that's fine, because I didn't even know that, but we know that the floodgates are open.
Yeah, I'll send you a copy, like I'm gonna send Officer Stuma.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
the other retail dispensary application is from Midnight Moon They're at 1536 Amsterdam Avenue.
I haven't gotten,
1536 Amsterdam.
I haven't even gotten that.
Oh, where's that at?
I can tell you,
15, that's the 2-6 precinct.
1536.
Yes, the 2-6 precinct, I know. But if I get it, as I said, I'm gonna send it to Officer Stewart and I'll send it to you. We haven't got it yet. so-
1536 is between 135th and 136th Street and Amsterdam Avenue.
That's the
It's on
3-0.
the corner.
Yeah, that's the 3-0, and right across the street from City College and around the corner from Jacob Schiff.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, it's near the
NPS
college.
Yeah.
192.
Right,
Well, I haven't gotten it yet, Officer Stewart, so when I get it, I'll send that one to you as well.
right,
Thank you.
that's definitely a no-no.
No. I think that's about it, Officer Stewart. Thank you so much. I'm sorry I didn't get my ride in your Batmobile.
Sorry, next time.
Okay.
Are there any other questions for Officer Stumer?
None being heard?
No.
None? Well, thanks
Oh,
again.
actually, yes,
Go
my
ahead.
last question. Since we were talking about dispensaries, as you are aware, there's one on 148th Street and St. Nicholas Avenue, prominently displayed and, selling his goods
Yes, no
away.
license. It doesn't have a license.
Has anybody been in communication with that owner, officer?
That location was referred to sheriffs.
Okay.
I don't have an update as
Damn
what
it.
was done over there. But they sheriffs is usually pretty good with where something is obvious like that. They're pretty quick to take action.
Okay. Well, okay, we'll keep an eye on what's happening. Thank you.
All right, Officer Stewart, thanks so much.
My pleasure.
Okay, dear, talk with you. Well, we were gonna discuss, the budget process, but being that there's no one here besides Hugo and myself, we can't really discuss it, we don't have a quorum, so I'm just gonna have to put it off until next month.
Oh, well, isn't it due though later this month? They want suggestions?
I think we're gonna have I know we're gonna have a public hearing, okay?
Okay,
So that's the bet. Those that should have gotten an email regarding the budget should
Yeah.
look it over and either send questions to Howard or myself or Ms. Prince. Okay, but right, other than that, that's the best they can do is go on the computer and check it out.
yeah.
Not, all I can say is thanks to everyone who attended. Hugo is the only one. And thanks Monique for sitting in, okay? Thanks
No
Lyle
problem.
for coming, I appreciate it. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks again.
All right, Ted, we're done.
All right. Okay. Well, listen, let me thank you so very much. And if I owe you some